This is one of my least favorite told you so's that I've ever had the displeasure of doing. The conservatives are always accused of slippery slope arguments. Oh, you don't want to go along with some radical change in society because you think that some crazy, absurd thing is going to happen as a consequence of it down the line. That's a slippery slope fallacy, conservatives. And every time that we predict some other degrading development will occur in our society as a result of some decision occurring right now, every time we predict the slippery slope, it comes true. We predicted that if you change the definition of marriage, soon enough you're going to change the definition of sex in the human person. And obviously the whole definition of the family, and you're going to get transgenderism. Obviously that happened. We predict that if you legalize abortion to any degree, you're going to go from not merely a tepid defense of legal abortion, but a full-throated endorsement. You're going to go from safe, legal, and rare abortion to abortion on demand without apology. Shout it from the rooftops. That happened. One thing we predicted was that if you lift the traditional social and political restrictions on sexual activity and you redefine marriage and you redefine the whole family and you say that now sexual morality just amounts to if it feels good, do it, you're going to have people not just having sex with each other, whichever consenting adult you want, not even just having sex with kids, which the grooming thing is on the rise and no one can deny it. You're going to have people having sex with animals. That's what we said. And everyone laughed at us. And they said, oh, you're a tinfoil hat wearing, kooky, crazy Alex Jones person. Daily Mail headline today. Bestiality brothels are, quote, spreading through Germany, warns campaigner as abusers turn to sex with animals as a lifestyle choice. Bestiality brothels are spreading through Germany faster than ever thanks to a law that makes animal porn illegal but sex with animals legal, a livestock officer has warned. Madeline Martin told the Frankfurter Rundschau that current laws for protecting animals from predatory zoophiles, that means people who shtup animals, are not working because these people are increasingly defending it as a lifestyle choice. Even people listening to this story right now, they might say, oh, that's crazy, that's tabloid madness. No, there's no way that you can't possibly defend having sex with animals as a lifestyle choice. There's no way to possibly normalize that. These are the people who all said no one would ever normalize pedophilia, which is occurring right now. They're even trying to change the word for pedophile to minor attracted person. They're trying to reduce the penalties for pedophiles. Actually, our next Supreme Court justice did just that when she was planning policy and when she was sitting on the bench. They say there's no way you could ever do it with animals. Why? Why? Well, the argument is because animals can't consent. Sure, kids can't consent. And we're now, not only are people reducing the stigma for having sex with children or consuming child abuse images, now we're saying that children should be allowed to lop off their genitals. If a 16 or 17-year-old can't consent to having sex with a 20 or 21-year-old, and that's what the law says, I think in most places that's what the law says, why on earth could a 6-year-old consent to making not just a temporary sexual choice, but a permanent sexual choice to fundamentally destroy his body chemistry and sterilize himself? Why could that happen? I don't know, but the libs are pushing that. The White House is pushing that. But furthermore, why does consent matter in our dealings with animals? We eat them. I don't think the animal consents to be eaten, does it? We skin them and wear their skin as our clothing. We do everything we do with animals is even when you're just ordinarily sort of shepherding the animals, growing fur on, or growing wool on the sheep and doing all sorts of things. It's not consensual. You're not getting a contract from the sheep. You're not getting a contract from the cow. We send them to slaughterhouses. So if we can kill the animals, if we can put them in terrible conditions, if we can wear their skin as our clothing, why can't German perverts shtup the animals? That seems less. If we're saying that rape is one of the most grievous crimes, but less grievous perhaps than murder, then why are we allowed to cut up the animals and chop them up and eat them and have them on our dinner plate, but German perverts aren't allowed to shtup them? You can't do it. You can't. There's no argument from just consent that is going to get you there. Okay, and this, unfortunately, on the left, absolutely, but even on the right, you've seen people distill all morality about all things, not just sex, but everything, down to consent. Well, if consenting adults want to do it, that's fine, and it's not the government's role to stop them from doing it. This is why you're seeing people try to liberalize drug laws. This is why you're seeing people liberalize laws against mutilations, against suicide, for goodness sakes. Well, if people consent, it's all fine. It's not. It's not. Consent is an important moral consideration, but there are other moral considerations too. What we're seeing in Germany now, do not be surprised when Nostradamus predicted that this sort of thing was coming to America. Right now, go to rockauto.com and write Knowles in their How Did You Hear About Us box. Prices are going through the roof. This is because of rampant inflation, among other things. Every time you go to fill up the gasoline in your car, we're probably paying double what you were paying a year ago in some places. The car has been very expensive for me. So what are you going to do? I'm going to give you two scenarios. You can either go to the brick and mortar auto parts store and you can drive over there. That's 15 minutes of your time. Then you got to stand and wait in line. Then you got to get peppered with questions by the guy behind the counter. Then he goes behind the counter. He doesn't have the part that you want. He comes back out. He orders it online. You got to drive home. You got to drive back in about a week, and you got to pay twice as much. That's one thing you can do if you're a dummy. Or you can go to rockauto.com, a family company that has served auto parts customers online for 20 years, same prices for pros and do-it-yourselfers, no gimmicks, no wake up at 3 a.m. to save 15%, no. Reliably low prices, super easy to navigate catalog, even I can navigate it. Go to rockauto.com, see all the parts available for your car or truck, and then write Knowles in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know that we sent you. Did you like that clip? I'm glad. Even if you didn't like that clip, subscribe, ring that bell, get the notifications. Also, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Sign up for the Michael Knowles Show. Leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next time.